Hello, this is Rabbit in Teen Central at the Plainfield Guilford Township Public Library. Today, I will teach you some tips on how to write a resume. To get started, try to limit yourself to only one page. This makes it a lot easier for someone to read your resume. Proofread before you send it to any potential employers. Make sure you have no spelling errors. Use professional language. This includes your email. You shouldn't have, a jokey email. You should try to have an email with it's just like your first and last name. Use an active voice instead of a passive voice. So like you are using action verbs. Use a present tense, like you are currently doing these things in whatever job you have already, or like a volunteer thing you do, you're doing these things. Make changes to your resume for each application. Each resume should be targeted to whatever type of job you're applying to. Demonstrate that you would be a good fit to any employer. So the first section is the header. You want to include your name, your email, your phone number, what city you're in, and any sort of website that you have. So if you have like a portfolio of artwork that's relevant to the job, you could put your website showing off your artwork. And then sometimes you would include a summary about yourself underneath your name, but this isn't necessary all the time. You just want to make sure that your name is big and centered and present. You can have a banner, or it could be basic like you see here. Next, you should have a section about your education. You should include the name of the school, what kind of grades you're getting, what kind of clubs, any relevant courses. If you aren't graduated from like the middle school or the high school you're in right now, you'd include expected date of graduation. And then you can go to experience. So if you had a job in the past, you'd include that in your resume. And you would talk about all the sort of skills that you accomplished, the task you did. But you can also include, clubs at your school where you've had a position of like a leadership position. You can include that information. And you want to include what years you did this. And then you include additional skills that you have. So this could be any sort of training you've been involved with. So if you took a class on how to type, you could say, I can type this many words per minute. You could talk about your photography skills, or maybe you're really good at social media. You have a lot of followers on Instagram. You could include that. Another section you can add into this additional skills section or skills section would be languages. If you speak a foreign language, that could be a benefit when you're looking for a job. So you can include that here. Another section you need is any honors or awards you've gotten in school or outside of school, because that shows, your talents to anyone who wants to employ you. Then you can include activities. So it's similar to your job experiences or like volunteer experiences. But this is just a way to show like, I belong to these other communities, these other things. If you belong to a blogging community, you can talk about that. Any sort of thing to add. Next, you want to have a reference section. Typically, jobs want you to have at least 3 references. You would include the person's name, what job they work for and what they do at that job, their email, and their phone number. You want to include people who are not like your friends, but like people who have supervised you in a school, maybe like a teacher. Some resume resources that are helpful include Indeed and Résumé Companion. Both of these will let you make resumes for free. A lot of websites charge you to make a resume. And then you can make a resume all by yourself. But if you need help, Indeed, it's really simple. You do it online, and then it allows you to save it. Résumé Companion, it gives you a sample resume. You download it as a Word document, and then you just edit that, put in your own information, and it's very simple. If you have more questions, you can come in to Teen Central, and we will help you find more resources on how to get a job.